Welcome back to the MC channel. It's been a while, but I'm back after a bit of time. But um, today's video, I want to discuss about the LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith beef because this is something that I didn't intend on covering, but what I've been hearing the past few days, I feel like I kind of had to cover it because there's just a lot going on, and it's ridiculous. It's getting to a point where it's just generally one of the most ridiculous things ever, and it's super unnecessary. So let's get going on with that. So what started off this beef is the Bronny James situation because Bronny James got drafted into the NBA with the 55th overall pick, and it stirred a lot of controversy already. Number one, because he got drafted by the Lakers. Number two, the 55th overall pick as a whole, and not a lot of picks that late into a draft get discussed a lot. The only two players I could think of that are legit good players around that time are Mono Ginobili and Isaiah Thomas, for just people that got drafted that late, not really undrafted players, because I can think of Ben Wallace as a whole. That's the greatest undrafted player of all time. But you have those two players, Mono Ginobili and Isaiah Thomas, who I can think of that got drafted that late. And then Bronny James gets drafted now. Now, for me personally, I wouldn't think Bronny would get drafted that late in a normal circumstance. But the thing about Bronny is that he got cardiac arrest, so he was nearly died. He nearly died, and his college performance was not up to par to where his high school standards. Because before then, Bronny was projected to go easy in the first round, like top 15. He was McDonald's All American. He was one of those kind of players. So it was completely understandable that he got what he got at the time because he was a really good player at his position. And he showed so much potential and to going into the NBA. My thing about Stephen A. Smith is his thing is that he thinks there's a lot of nepotism involved with it, which I'm not a big fan of. But at the same time, like, it's unwarranted. The blast on him, it's super unwarranted. So Bronny James, me personally, Bronny James started off the season pretty rough. Started off the season rough. He went onto the G League. I get the whole thing about him and Braun playing and sharing the court at the same time for the beginning of the game. But other than that, he only got minutes in garbage time, which is completely fair. And he went to the G League, did not perform well at all to start off, but then he's been playing really well recently. Like, Bronny James has showcased in the G League, he is an NBA player. He recently dropped a career high 39 points in the G League, and for a 55th overall pick to do that is very impressive. You don't see guys like Reed Shepherd get discussed enough. He's been completely bad this year. He's not been good at all. He's been in the G League, and he's the third overall pick. Where Bronny James is living up to standards for a 55th overall pick. Stephen A. Smith, there's been times throughout the entire season he brings up Bronny James' numbers, and he's acting like he's been on the court the entire time, which is just not the point. Not the case. My problem with Stephen A. Smith, he's not aware that Bronny James is putting up those numbers in garbage time when the game is pretty much over. He's not like he's playing in the middle of the game. And that's where, like I just said, that was such false information and just not really accurate to Stephen A's standards. Up until the recent incident on January 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, when the Lakers played the Philadelphia 76ers and they were undermanned that entire game. Like, I think there was no Gabe Vincent. There was no Shake Milton. Anthony Davis got injured. And Bronny James has played well the previous night in the G League, so why not call him up on a second night of a back-to-back? He flew over to Philadelphia from LA to go play. He not played that well. Not played that well. I'll admit, he did not play that well that game. Stephen A. Smith proceeds to the next day call out LeBron James personally. And what he does not understand that he is doing is that he specifically said words to LeBron that are legitimately personal. Taking shots to LeBron James as a parent. That is personal. That is genuinely personal. You don't say as a father. Please stop. You don't say the words as a father on national television where your job is to cover LeBron James, the basketball player, not LeBron James, the person. So Stephen A. Smith has been super unaware of the situations. He's been unaware with how Bronny James has been playing in the G League. He's been unaware of that he's getting minutes in garbage time, and that's where he's putting up those numbers. After that situation, Bronny's been playing very, very well. He's been playing well in the minutes he got in garbage time. He's been making shots. He recently had a great game against the Milwaukee Bucks, and that was when a lot of players were rested. I know Lakers got blown up, but he showcased the past few weeks that he is clearly an NBA player. Like, he's been a really good defender. He's making the right plays at the right time, and he's been making his shots. He got 19 points on 7 for 10 shooting, which is very impressive. Then there was a game against the New York Knicks, and Stephen A. Smith attended the game. And this was insane at the time. This is really insane at the time because this was a first from LeBron James, because LeBron James has been in the league for 22 seasons. And he is the most scrutinized player I have personally ever seen for a player that does not do controversy stuff off the floor. He doesn't like beat up his wife. He does not do any of those kind of stuff. He is one of the most like inspirational, good people out there off the floor. I mean, he built a school in Akron, Ohio, like donation to charity, all those kind of stuff. Yeah, there might be some stuff that people don't agree with, but that's just everybody. That's everybody. We don't have our agreements. But he's been the most scrutinized player, and the media has to find a way to hate on him. And then there goes the decision. The decision happened. The media started hate on him, like for some reason, when that was super unwarranted, because it's also a donation to the to kids. Like, he made that decision on national TV. It's like what he said on the Pat McAfee show is that it's like a college decision because he didn't really go to college, which was super warranted. I understand. And it was super warranted to why he went to the Miami Heat. It was super warranted. I mean, super warranted. Like, I understand him on his side. If you guys don't know, I'm on LeBron James' side for this. I don't agree with everything he did, but I'm on LeBron James' side of this whole thing. And that's where all the backlash came for him through his entire career, from guys like Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith. Like, just hate on him for no reason. Find any way to hate on him. Like, I remember the game against the Indiana Pacers. He had a game winner. Skip Bayless said that's the easiest game winner of all time, which that is completely stupid. Like, that's not an easy game winner to hit. To tip a layup in with 0.2 seconds left, that's not easy. That's not easy to do. Skip Bayless just finds some easy way, just different types of ways to hate on LeBron James. But for me, I can respect Skip Bayless because it's hate on him as a basketball player, and he's trolling. That's just hate him on the court. Not, he wouldn't take personal attacks as a person like Stephen A. Smith is doing, and he's just saying, "Oh, I stand by what I say." Super unaware. You see guys like Shannon Sharp say he needs to stop this. You see so many people out there just telling him to stop this stuff. And LeBron James, when they played the Knicks, LeBron James went on, like, I think it was the third quarter, in a timeout, or a fan hit a half court shot. LeBron James went directly towards Stephen A. Smith and proceeded to say, "Stop this bullshit. Stop bringing my son up on your show," and stuff like that. And Stephen A. Smith looked like a scared child. In my personal opinion, he looked like a scared child. There's so many angles of it. And Stephen A. Smith looked like a scared child. The next day, Stephen A. Smith proceeds to lie on national television and say, "I did not want to have to cover this, but there are so many videos out there." Motherfucker, don't lie to yourself. Like, this is your job. You definitely wanted to cover it. If anything, you were happy that LeBron did that stuff because that's your job. You're going to go cover that stuff on your shows or whatever. And then he proceeds to go on multiple different platforms like podcasts and shows. Like, there was like the political show, he called LeBron for that situation. And then he went on Gilbert Arenas' podcast and say, "Oh, that's weak. That's a weak thing to do," which is very hypocritical to do. This is the very hypocritical statement that Stephen A. Smith said, because other times, I think it was the Kevin Durant situation, he says, "You're allowed to go and call out me on the court. I'm always at these games," and you say that LeBron just, what he did is weak. But if Michael Jordan did it, then you would say it's a compliment. "Oh, it's an honor to have MJ call me out like this." But then you say LeBron is weak and such like stuff like that, which was Completely hilarious because LeBron James recently went on the Pat McAfee show and mentioned the media, the NBA media. The first thing first was that Giannis would drop 250 points in the 70s, which that if he just said that, then that's a crazy statement to say. That's I understand. That's a crazy statement today. But he went on further to say that any player will be any great in any era for sure. Giannis, yes, if you just entered Giannis into that era, yes, he would dominate guys. Then first take the next day, which just completely annoys me as a whole, is that they only listened to the clip. They didn't wait until LeBron's full podcast came out. There was only that little clip that was just a teaser trailer, and they reacted to that to assume that LeBron only said that instead of the full context. That's the problem with media. They got kind of exposed with it. That's the problem with Stephen A. Smith. That's the problem with whatever First Take does. They don't listen to the clip. I mean, the full video. They only look at Twitter clips. These guys I've seen so many times, they have fallen for NBA Central. They fall for those kind of fake parody accounts on their shows. Like, it's so funny. It's actually so funny. And they didn't listen to the clip. And then LeBron James on that show proceed to call out Stephen A. Smith again, and was completely warranted. Like he definitely deserves to call him out. He calls out the media. He called out Brian Windhorst about how Windhorst acts like he's my friend, which is completely. It was kind of funny. It was kind of funny, but I don't think that was the right thing to say. But then he proceeds to call out Stephen A. Smith, and I completely 100% agree with what he said, that he doesn't care if he does not care at all if you scrutinize him as a basketball player. That's your job. That's your job. He doesn't care if you think Michael Jordan is the GOAT. He does not care about that. What he went to say is that he's take when it's becoming personal and he has to defend his family, when it gets his family, himself, or different NBA players. That's just the problem. NBA media, they're getting too comfortable. They're getting way too comfortable with what they're saying. And LeBron has had enough. 22 years has gone by, and he called out Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith went on his show. And first things first, LeBron James said he's going to take this clip and he's going to go on, sit down on his tidy whities and lick on some ice cream, which was completely funny. Like, this is what Stephen A. Smith wanted. And he said also before that, he said he's kind of on a Taylor Swift tour run, which is so funny. It is so funny, and it's so accurate because he's on like a Taylor Swift tour. And then the NBA Twitter was like calling him Stephen A. Swift, which was so funny. And I agree with that. Like, he's been on a world tour run after the incident. Stephen A. Smith went on his show. The next day, he went on his show. Not the next day, like a few hours gone by, which proved LeBron's point right, first of all, that he was going to go on a show and discuss it. And then he proceeds to call LeBron James a liar in all these situations. He pretty much proceeds to do that. So, and he's completely lost his mind. Mentioned the GOAT debate for like the 5,000th millionth time in a row, proving pretty much LeBron James right as a whole thing about the Pat McAfee show. And it's funny. It's so funny. And he said he would have swung on LeBron at the time, which was really unnecessary because like that's not gonna happen. Why? Like, he's already lying that he would have swung on LeBron, which was completely hilarious because the thing is they're in front of 18,000 fans. And like, LeBron wasn't gonna swing at you. LeBron knew he would have gotten in trouble if he swung at you on the court. So why admit to say that stuff situation against a 250,000? Why lie about that? Why lie about that? A few hours went by. LeBron James, this is an all-time historic day from LeBron James, by the way, because he was on the Pat McAfee show earlier. They played the Indiana Pacers that same day. LeBron James hits a game winner, a tapping game winner, which Skip Bayless goes on to hate, but it was still a very impressive game winner that he hit. And then he posted Stephen A. Smith the boxing video, and I'll post the clips on this video. so you guys could see. He posted a video on Instagram about Stephen A. Smith boxing, which is just so funny. It is so funny because his form is not good at all. His form is terrible. The next day is where I think Stephen A. Smith went way too far. I think he took it way too far. And this is where I say Stephen A. Smith is a disgusting human being. For me personally, I think he's a disgusting human being after what he did the next day. The next day, Stephen A. Smith brought up Kobe Bryant. And I don't have a problem with him bringing up Kobe in a situation if he's talks about Kobe as the person, as the basketball player. If he talks about Kobe as a basketball player, you could say like, Kobe did this on the court, LeBron didn't do this on the court, which I understand. You could do that. Though I'd still debate about that, but he proceeds to bring up Kobe's memorial ceremony and that LeBron James didn't attend it, which he lied. He lied. He didn't do his research. He lied. He lied about it. LA newspaper put up a quote saying LeBron did attend it, and he didn't want the cameras on him. He didn't want the cameras on him, and Stephen A. Smith got aware about this like an hour after, and he went on to not apologize fully. He just said apologize about the Kobe stuff, but then he didn't even recognize what he's doing to LeBron. This is another personal attack against LeBron as a person. He says, I wonder why the cameras were not on him. Motherfucker, why? First of all, why bring Kobe into the situation? Why do you have to do this stuff? Why bring a dead man into the situation? That's just so disrespectful to the Bryant family, first of all. To just continue your hatred towards LeBron James. That's just disgusting material. And then proceed to just say, oh, there should be cameras on LeBron James. Motherfucker, do you realize that these basketball players are human just like you? If a close friend of yours died, you wouldn't want people to take film of you. Probably they would, because they'll probably give you money because you just fame off money. So you go on to just call LeBron saying, oh, the cameras are on him. And then he brought up Dwayne Wade's Hall of Fame ceremony, which I understand if he didn't attend it, because that's a close friend of his, completely unaware that Bronny James had cardiac arrest at the time. If he did his research about Bronny James' cardiac arrest, and that's why LeBron, he spoke to millions of doctors, he's with his family over friends, first of all, that's what you would do. That's what I would do. I'd prioritize my family. Stephen A. Smith is just super unaware of the situation, because then he just keeps on bringing up that LeBron James is pissed off at him because he says Michael Jordan is a GOAT over him, which he doesn't care. I don't think anybody cares about your opinion on who you think the GOAT is. We get it, because you've mentioned it at least 12 million times the past 3 days that you say MJ's the GOAT, and that's my GOAT, and that's final. We get that. You're allowed to have your own opinion, dude. But to just throw these personal shot attacks at LeBron is completely unwarranted and undeserving, and it's just disgusting material. So, Stephen A. Smith, you're a piece of shit, and fuck you. And LeBron James, I hope you get the apology you deserve, because the media is just disgusting, and it's terrible, and it's embarrassing. It's super embarrassing that we're getting to a point that this is not anything about basketball. It's getting anything all personal stuff. And I hate to cover it. I want to just only discuss LeBron as a basketball player, because I think LeBron James overall is a great human being for what he's done off the court. And it's disgusting what Stephen A. Smith is doing. It's just disgusting behavior. Lately, it has tamed down because obviously the Lakers lost. But it's toned down the past few days. But I feel like we're going to get more coverage of this later on, because I hope Stephen A. Smith is humbled by the situation. Taking shots at LeBron as a person. Bringing up Kobe Bryant into a mix that's just super unnecessary and just disgusting to the Bryant family. And then now takes shots for not attending Dwayne Wade's ceremony when it's on a cardiac arrest. This is disgusting. So this brother has completely lost his mind, and it's sad. It's super sad that he's unaware with what he did in the first place. That's why LeBron is calling him out. LeBron would not call you out if you didn't bring up the personal attacks. But you are just super unaware with your job. And I just hope ESPN sees these videos out there and really send out consequences to this guy, because what he's doing is disgusting behavior. Yeah, you can do stuff for ratings. That's why you keep bringing up the Bronny James situation, because it's for ratings purposes. It's for ratings for you to say these kind of stuff. It's for ratings because his back of the name says James. And that's gonna be it for this video. I don't want to discuss it anymore because I'm over it. I'm so over it. I just hope they mend this situation. I hope Stephen A. Smith apologizes because it's disgusting. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Take care and peace out.